just quickly going to show you my September setup in my Midori's Traveller's Notebooks thingies. The big one is not much different. I'm in my regular Midori brown. It's getting nicely scuffed. I'm loving it. Look at all that texture. It's fabulous. I do have the narrow creme brulee that goes with this. This is the Field Notes creme brulee from ChicSparrow. But although I like the leather on this for a small planner, on the larger planner I find it a bit thick and chunky. I don't know why. That's just me. So I actually prefer the leather on this one. So I use this one as my everyday planner, and my large creme brulee, which holds a lot more, is my study notes planner, because I can actually fit 4 or 5 inserts in it, as opposed to this one, which I like to keep nice and thin. So my regular Midori, not a lot has changed, I have to say. I've still got my Leuchtturm pen loops on it, of course. Everybody always asks me about these. They're just the Leuchtturm pen loops stuck onto the leather. Yes, you can remove them from the leather. No, they don't leave any marks, and no, they don't come off unless you actually take them off. These have been stuck on since I got my Midori well over a year ago now. So yeah, they work fine. I have my craft wallet in here, which I put bits and pieces in. This is, I've said before, when I'm working on projects that are from my Filofax, I take the bits and pieces out that I need and I put them in this little pocket, just so that I've got the bits that I need without having to take my Filofax with me. This is ongoing class notes, so there's usually something in there. This is my journal. Well, one of my journals. It just happens to be the journal that's in here at the moment. It's a new book, so not much gone in it yet. Just a couple of bits and pieces. Look at my cute little doggy clip. Isn't he adorable? I got a little doggy, and I got a fox from Carrie. Aren't they cute? And he's got a little snail. I didn't see that before. And he's got a little bone. Aren't they awesome? Yeah, I haven't really done a lot in this one. It's just so that when I'm sat downstairs and all I've got with me is this journal, or this notebook, I can just, you know, sit and journal or whatever. The back of my craft wallet has some of my diary stickers in, because you know I love my diary stickers. And also I've got a couple of these little chore charts, which I got from Hello Cuteness. They're just handy for writing down what I want to do on what day of the week, so I've printed a few out in A6 size and stuck them in here. Some of my highlighter stickers that I love. On the back of here, oh, I need to stick him on actually while I've got my tape here. 1 second. No, oh, okay. Hang on. Let me start that again. On here, I have some sticky notes. They're not big piles of sticky notes. They're just like 1 or 2, usually where people have sent me a few sticky notes from a big pad. Like these 3, I believe Joanne sent me these, and she sent me like 5 or 6 of each one. I've actually used the others up. So, you know, rather than chucking them in a box where they'll get messed up because they're not a full set, like with this is actually taken from a full set, but it's just a couple of sticky notes. See, I use a repositionable tape runner and I stick it all the way along the back there like that, and I pop them on there like that. And what that means is that I can take them off and use them. They don't fall off like that one kept doing. But at the same time, when I get to the very last one, I can remove it and use it somewhere else, and not have anything stuck to here, so I can replace it with something completely different. Some people were saying they use like glue or Pritt stick to stick down the sticky notes like this. No, I find repositionable glue is a much better idea, because then the last sticky note is usable and you're left with a clean surface. So there you go. That's how I get my sticky notes to stick. So yeah, these were from Joanne. This is from, I think Vicky sent me these funny little budgies. And these cute little things, look at that little fox and bunny, aren't they cute? They were from Carrie, and I think that's a mole. I'm not sure if it's a mole or a beaver. It's quite hard to tell whether it's got teeth or not. It kind of looks like it should have teeth. I'm not sure. I think it's a mole. So, yeah, those were from Carrie last week. Oh, that needs sticking back on as well. Might as well do that while I'm sat here. And I might as well do bunny as well, just for luck, just to make sure, you know, we don't want them all falling out, do we? There we go. I'll just slip that under there. There. There's that sorted. This is, it's actually, let me take it out. It came in a book. It was in a map book, so imagine this is the back of a book, okay? And it was a tour guide, and in the back of this, on here, it's the Marco Polo guides, and this was stuck in the back of the book, and in here was a map. So I sent the map to somebody because they wanted it, and I was left with this cool little envelope in the back of the book, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, I can use that. So I took it out of the back of the book, not as carefully as I would have liked. I'm trying to find something that will take all this glue off, but haven't found anything yet. And because this was folded up on itself, it actually fits very nicely under the short string on a Midori. You know, you've got the main string and then you've got the shorter string, so that actually fits really well under that short string. And that is a lot less bulky than the zip wallet that I was using. The zip wallet has a plastic wallet on one side and a zip wallet on the other. And I don't know, something about the make of it, it just makes the whole thing really bulky. This is like a third of the size. Well, that's an exaggeration, it's not a third of the size, but it's a heck of a lot thinner without the extra plastic wallet. I don't know what it is about those plastic wallets, but they cause craziness. So I took the plastic wallet out, and I've now got that in my Creme Brûlée, my big Creme Brûlée, which is where I've got my study notes, and I've just got like stickers and note paper and, you know, stuff like that, post-it notes and stuff in it. And in here I've just got clippings and things that I want to use in my journal or my commonplace book or whatever, small articles that I clip out. And then I will sit down and, you know, paste them all in my book at some point and catalogue them and things like that. Or I use them for my journal. Sometimes I print out photos and things, or I keep, you know, little notes and stuff that people send me. It all goes in here, and when it gets too thick to put any more in, I take it all out and I start again. And I go through it and I get rid of anything I don't want. So that's working quite well. And it opens this way, so it's a lot easier to get in and out of without having to mess about with that silly zipper. I was always getting stuff trapped in the zipper and it used to drive me nuts. So it's a lot better off just having stickers and things in there in my other book. This is my planner section, I'll come to that in a second. And at the back, this is exactly the same as before. I've got my reading list there. Again, I clip things that I want to read into Evernote, and I write them on here, and then when I'm done them I cross them out. This is my commonplace book. Not much of a change in here I don't think, because I've actually used the little one a bit more than this one so far. This tends to be more sort of articles, heavy articles that I want to read, like this one is like 2.5 pages long. or really long programs, or stuff like that. This was a 2-hour long program that I watched, a documentary. This is my psychology syllabus. Stuff like that. It tends to be longer things. And the other one that I've got tends to be snippets. So, something that catches my eye in a magazine or something like that. My planner set up for this month, actually for the rest of the year. Ooh! I've gone back into my large planner because the small planner that I was using, I liked it, but the reality is that having a planner in this book, as well as what I need in this book, doesn't work for me. I'm better off having my planner separate. So that's what I've got. I'm using the Road Crusade inserts for the rest of the year. This is the yearly, which I'm using to log bills. And I've just got a little ghost post-it note there with all my bills on, and I just line it up, move it along, line it up, and there you go. Now I know what all this corresponds to. And I just tick it off as I do it, as I pay it. I used to log reference numbers and all that kind of thing, but honestly, I pay all my bills online, except for things like the dog food and doctor's prescriptions and stuff like that. I pay everything online, so I don't really need to write down reference numbers and things like that. I can find them online fairly easily. And anything that I pay in cash or I just pay on my card, I don't normally need reference numbers for anyway. So that's working rather well, and that is a double-sided insert, so I've actually got 2014 and 2015. And I just need to go back and fill in January to May, just so that I've got a complete record on one page, because these are kind of interspersed on DIY fish inserts all over the place. So I want to pull those out and just, mark off what I've spent each month, so that I can keep an eye on, how much my bills are each month. My monthly, again, I've got the Road Crusade inserts. This is these up to there. And I have August, September, October, November, December, January here. And then on the other side, I've got through to, I think I've got enough space for through to April, if I remember correctly. Yes, April. Takes me up to April 2015, which is the end of my tax year. So everything, although the beginning of the year is January, I work from the 1st of April, which is the beginning of my business year. So this will take me up to the end of April, which means I can forward plan into April, and then I'll print out a new set for April through to next April, April 2016. Then I have, again, Road Crusade. These are the project pages, which I printed out really badly. With Road Crusade, she only offers them on one size, which is, I believe, American size, letter size. In order to print them on A4, you actually have to print them fit to rather than actual size. So if you're printing Road Crusade on American size paper, letter paper, you can print it actual size. If you're printing it on A4, you need to fit to and scale it down to A4. Otherwise, as you close your book, when you close your book, the inside pages are always shorter. You start losing the edges, which is what happened to me. I've done that on a couple of things now. See, for instance, there I'm losing the edge of my paper. It's totally because I printed it wrong. There's nothing wrong with her inserts. I printed it wrong. I've since reprinted it, fit to, and it works fine. So my project pages, I'm going to do a video on this. As you probably noticed, Carrie Harling, Miss Vicky B and myself are doing 2 videos a month that are kind of coordinated, our own take on a specific thing. And at some point we are all going to do project pages because that's something that we've all been asked for. This month, on the 14th, we'll all be doing brain dumps because everybody has asked us about brain dumps all of a sudden. So, and we all do it very differently. So watch out for those 3 on the 14th. But this is project pages where I have to list out what I'm doing, and this is mostly checklists for, not breakdown checklists, but things I need to do in a specific order, or things that I need to do over time, building up to a certain point. So this is just my September blog and YouTube stuff. This is stuff that I've already got booked in, that's going live on specific days. This is stuff that's dated, that's going on a specific day or date, and then this is stuff that I've promised other people that I will do this month, or things that I've been already scheduled to put in for this month. And then this is YouTube requests, and I just put the date, who asked for it, and what the request was, because what I've found is I've been putting my YouTube requests just anywhere or on pages and not going back to them, so I'm missing some. So this I thought would be a much better idea. And then I've got like class lists. So this is Christmas Chronicles, starts on December the 1st. So I've got a lot of stuff to do, sort of marketing stuff. I mean, obviously I've got to do the class, and that will be a project in itself. But this is all pre-class stuff where I'm, you know, sorting out when it's going to start, when it's going to end, what the price bracket's going to be, when it's going to launch, when for existing students, when it will launch for everybody else, any early bird discounts that I'm going to do. All that stuff has to be planned ahead of time so that I can set it up to launch, because I can't just do a class and then say, right, December the 1st, come and do the class. I've got to prepare people for it, you know. I've got to put things up in advance. So that's Christmas Chronicles 2014, and then I've already got stuff booked in for October for blog and YouTube. This is commissions and things that I need to get cracking on. And then I've got a similar one for When Frogs Sing 2015. Again, that starts January the 1st, so I've already got to start planning all the marketing and launch materials for that. And that is just, all of these pages are loose. And the reason I left them loose was so that I can pull them out and add extras, or, you know, if I need extra project pages in between here, I can reshuffle them, I can put them in a different order, I can change them about. Whatever I need to do, I can rejig them in any order that I want. And the same with the monthly pages. I thought it would be useful if I wanted to be able to take them out. This is a bound booklet, and this is my daily pages, which again are Rogue Crusade, but they are not available on Rogue Crusade. They're ones that I've MacGyvered together, of course. I will be showing you these again at a later date in September when I do a review on them, because I've got something special for you coming up. So anyway, these are again Jess Sisson's from Rogue Crusade on Etsy. I put the Chronodex in, and that's just what I'm using. It's exactly the same as last month's that I was using, they're just bigger. And this takes me through, I've got enough to go right the way through to the end of December, I think, and then I can print up the next quarter. So that's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that. That's not too bad for 4 months worth of daily pages. That's quite a good thickness. And I've got the other side of my projects and monthlies and my yearly. In the back here, I had a spare page on the back of the monthly. So what I did was I just taped on here an address sheet from Filofax, because I do have the occasional address that I need to put in here that I need to have to hand, usually business addresses. And then I've just again stuck my post-it notes on that I use a lot. on my daily pages. And then I've got my 2015 yearly printout, and I'm using slip covers, which I have a video on how to make those a week or so back. So that is my main planner. So this is where I'm doing, I've got my schedule here, which is my what I need to do. That doesn't have to be, has to be done by a deadline, but it doesn't have to be done at any particular time. And then my daily to-do lists, where I've got my Chronodex and things like that. You can see this weekend I've got planned a study weekend. So I've got my Chronodex, my bullet journal lists. These I'm using for important notes. That's how they're looking. They're a little bit sparse this month because it's taken me a little while to get going. I had 3 days of just back-to-back filming, and then I had 3 days of back-to-back admin. So it's not really been much going on. It's mostly been me sitting at my desk doing stuff, but it's starting to pick up again now. So, and then of course I've got the weekend off. So there you go. Got some stuff in ready for Monday already. So that is my planner proper. This is my main planner. My journal and my commonplace book. Now in addition, I've also got this little one, which is actually my wallet, and it's a bit chunky. I know this. That is a bit of a problem. This big book at the time that I put it in was perfect. However, I've decided that once I finish this book, I'm actually going to swap it for a much thinner one like this. So that'll take a lot of that bulk out. I've got a similar setup in this book where I have my planner, my bullet journal and wallet, and a commonplace book. This, I did say, I think in my last planner video, that I was going to MacGyver one of the Moleskine Day on a Page books, which you can see I did. Basically, I pulled it apart, and for my £2.50 that I paid for it, excuse me, I now have a section in the front of here. I used an old notebook, soft cover notebook, because it takes up less space. I have a section in here that is now, must tape that, sorry, my personal page, and I've got my 2014 yearly, then my 2014 monthly. Now I did say the reason I had my planner in here was so that when I'm out, I'm at the vets, I'm at the doctors, I'm at the hospital, I'm at the hairdressers, whatever, I can book my next appointment in advance. Because if I don't do that, I forget. So what this is just for booking appointments. Or if I know I've got a day where I can't do anything because I'm out, or I've got something scheduled, whatever, my parents are coming up or whatever, I can block out those days and say, no, I can't do anything on that day because, or I can't have an appointment that afternoon because I've already got one, but I could do the morning. It means I can book things in advance, which has always been an issue that I've had with bullet journaling. Because for planning, I like a daily page. For bullet journaling, I like an unlisted page. Just a plain notebook. And I can't forward plan like that. I have to have monthly pages. But these are from the front of the 2014 Moleskine Day on a Page, pocket size. And they are perfect just for being able to, at a glance, look at it and go, oh, yes, yeah, I can book an appointment there, I can book an appointment there. Anything that's movable, like this one, may not happen that particular day. I would just write it in a friction pen so that I can remove it, or, you know, pencil or whatever. But basically that's where I put in my future appointments. And then after the 2014, you have holidays and events, which are, I put in regular things like birthdays and stuff like that, bank holidays. And then you have the 2015 and all the 2015 months. So for £2.50, I've got 2 years worth of planner for this page, for this size book. And all I did was I simply cut out the bits that I needed and re-sewed them together. They look like they're coming apart, but they're not. They are actually sewn in at the back. Just basic pamphlet stitch, sewn in each of the signatures. So they're not actually coming out. And then because this was loose, what I ended up doing was I used, this is one of the pads that the Leuchtturm pen loops come on. When you get it, the pen loop is stuck on here and it's a bit bigger. So I cut it down and I stuck it on the back of there to make this rigid, and then that holds my sticky tabs that I use. You know I love my coloured sticky tabs and page flags and things, and I use those for reminding myself, you know, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that, spin day on Friday, that kind of thing. So that's a nice easy way to just keep all my flags together and stop them getting beaten up without taking up a lot of room. And again, I just, like I said, I stuck that onto there, but then I sewed it like a pamphlet stitch onto the book, and that's sewn onto the soft spine of this moleskin. Then I have also sewn in the address book that I got at the back of the moleskin pocket. So for £2.50, I've got 2 years worth of monthly inserts and an address book that I can use, like I say, for 2 years before it needs replacing. Bargain. Yes, I could have gone to all the trouble of printing one out myself, but who has time for that? I wanted to try it, and I can use these pages for other things anyway. I can use them for notes. Then I've got a Evernote moleskin, which is where what I'm using for my projects and ongoing notes that I need to, things I need to do. Again, projects and organisation will be another video that myself, Carrie and Vicky are all doing later in the year. But basically this is all my... Maddie, shush shush baby. This is all my GTD stuff. And, you know, class stuff that I need to do, and it's basically list making. And then all my coloured post-its, I've got my Evernote post-its next to them, because you can take photos of your Evernote post-its and they automatically file into certain categories. So I've got my green post-its set up to go into my financial folder, so I can write any information on here, take a photograph of it, and it goes straight into Evernote, into my financial folder, and that's it. Job done. And then I've got the back of the moleskin. I left the elastic on, it's quite useful being able to band all this together, and I thought the pocket would be useful, which it is, for putting my Evernote stickers into. Again, that's part of project management. I'll talk about that at a later date. Then I've got my wallet section, and I've got my... I don't actually put money in here unless I have to. I actually have a coin purse that I carry around in the bottom of my bag or in my pocket. But, you know, if I do need to put some coins in here, I will do so. I've actually got pictures of the girls and my bullet journal list. And then this is my cards. And this bit here is a passport size book, which I'm using for my bullet journal. My bullet journal is my brain dump. And again, we're doing that on the 14th, I think, as a proper video, and I'll be showing you how I do this. But basically I you know, bullet journal, brain dump, it's all the same thing for me. And it all goes in that little book, and I just replace it. What I found with these field note size books is that if you use a field note size book on the front and back, and then you put a passport size stuff in the middle, it keeps your pen flush with the edge because it's not as wide, and you've got room for tabs and things like that, and also for some reason it doesn't take up as much room. If I swap this out for one of these, magically it becomes thicker. I don't know how that works, it just does. On the other side of my zipper pocket, this is the Midori insert. I've got my credit card pocket. I don't have anything in here, but if I do have, you know, business cards or anything like that that people give me, they go in there. In here I've got my GTD list, which again is part of my brain dump video, and just some stickers that I use for, you know, highlighting things that don't fit in the back of my Midori, my moleskin. I've got my Yusheng pen loop stuck on there with my pen, and then at the back I've got a Yusheng pocket book, which is a little bit bigger than a moleskin book. It's a little bit taller. It's actually A6 height, but not A6 wide. It's field notes width, but A6 height. It's a very strange size. And this is kind of a little on-the-go book, so I can journal in it, I can make lists. I've got quite a lot of lists. I've got photos in here, I've got more lists, things I've printed out, recipes, a bit more journaling, book list, some travel notes, some general size information on notebooks. I did use a small article there. This is the kind of thing that normally I would put in my large commonplace book, but this was the booklet I had with me, so I put it in here. Quotes that I liked, dates that I want to remember, interesting news snippets, another quote, my new favourite coffee is yummy. Sketch notes from an article that I was reading. I printed that out. I quite liked the list. Zen things. I thought I might Zen tangle around it. You know, it's just stuff like that. And in the back I've got a few extra tickets and some Project Life cards. And I printed out some of these. That reminds me I need to do one. These are movie and book reviews that I printed off the Moleskine website. I've just got a couple of extra bits and pieces in there that I might need. Like I say, this is my wallet, so I'm trying to keep it not too bulky, which is why I've taken my planner out and swapped it for just somewhere that I can keep an eye on appointments. It will be a lot better once I swap this for one of these. That will be much better because it will be nowhere near as bulky. But you know, this will do for now. I'm quite happy with it for now. It's not too chunky. It works fine. So that's my setup for actually the rest of the year. Would you believe? Yeah, I know. You'll believe it when you see it. But that is the plan for right the way through till the end of the year now, because I don't have time to mess about with new planners and things like that. I try new planner setups and things because I enjoy it and because I want to and because I find new stuff and I think, oh, let me play with that. But September to January is the busiest time of year for me. I am snowed under now, right the way through until Christmas. I've got one class that's still running until the end of December. I've got a new one starting on December the 1st to the end of December, and then I've got a new year class starting on January the 1st that I have to prep for. So really busy, crazy busy time of year. And then on top of all that, I usually do a craft fair at Christmas, which means I need to get some more stuff made for that. So, you know, planners, messing about with planners like I've been doing for the last few months, That's going to have to take a back burner. I don't have time for that. I've got to get on and just use the system that I know works. And this is a system that I know works. I've got my daily planner with my monthly complete in here, and I've just got this, which is my little carry about, that, you know, I don't have to have this with me all the time to know when I've got a doctor's appointment or when I can book a hair appointment or anything like that. So there you go, that's September's setup. I will be back later in the week. Bye.